takes the guesswork out of trying to choose the right battery charger for your particular needs. I'm down here in Adelaide at REDARC. Now these are the guys that make all the 12 volt gear in all my four-wheel drives, and today they've opened the doors so we can come inside with a camera crew and show you exactly everything there is to know about dual battery systems, chargers, how they work, how they're designed, and we're also going to get a chance to speak to one of their 12 volt gurus who will answer all the questions you've ever wanted to know. We're going to show you how to power your campsite for as long as you want by running the best dual battery system for your four-wheel drive. Whether you head off on weekends or want to spend a month in Cape York, there's a 12 volt system that's right for you. To understand what setup is right for you, we're going to spend a minute going over the basics. Now, your four-wheel drive will typically come out with one battery. Now, you can power those accessories with this battery here, but of course the problem is you're definitely going to drain your start battery and you won't be able to start your car. So that of course means you're going to need a second battery. Now that's going to give you about a day's worth of power before it goes flat. Now if you want to camp for longer, well, you've got to find a solution that's going to be able to charge this second battery. Now of course you could just hook your secondary battery up to your start battery. That's a really simple solution. Now as soon as your alternator charges your start battery, you're going to get charged into your second battery. But of course as soon as you turn your vehicle off, this one's going to drain and also your start battery is going to drain. The solution is running the dual battery setup in your four-wheel drive. Now, a dual battery charger is basically the link between your start battery and your secondary battery. Now, your secondary battery will get charged when you're driving the vehicle, and when you're back at camp, it'll isolate it from your start battery so you don't drain this one. In front of me here, I've got three different types of dual battery chargers, and I'm down here at REDARC to show you exactly how they work and which one will be best suited for your particular application. Now, they all operate in the same basic principles in that they will charge your secondary battery, but not all of them will be right for you and they might not work with your four-wheel drive. The simplest of all in-vehicle chargers is a battery isolator like this smart 100 amp isolator. Basically, you run it in between your starter and your secondary battery. When the engine is running and the alternator is charging the starter battery, the isolator will allow the charge to also come through to the second battery. When the engine's turned off, it'll separate the starter and the second battery. That means you can drain your second battery, but your starter battery isn't going to get drained, so you'll be able to start your four-wheel drive. 15 years ago, everybody ran these as they are simple, cheap and easy to install, really reliable and charge fast. However, they don't work well in newer vehicles. Most vehicles before 2008 have what is called a fixed voltage alternator, which puts out a constant 14 volts to charge your battery. However, most newer vehicles have either a variable voltage alternator or a temperature compensating alternator. For this video, we're calling them smart alternators. What this means is the alternator will vary the amount of voltage it outputs depending on the engine temperatures, vehicle loads and driving conditions to reduce load on the engine, which saves fuel. They can vary the amount of output from 12 to 15 volts. Most isolators will turn on and off depending on what sort of voltage supply they're given. So this one in particular will turn on once the volts get to 13.2 and will turn off and stop charging once it drops down to 12.7. Now, if you're cruising along the highway and you've got a smart alternator, they might cut the voltage back down to about 12.5, which means you're not going to be getting any charge to your second battery. Now, the problem is you're going to be running some accessories off your second battery as you're driving down the highway. That's going to discharge your second battery. You could find that even though you've been driving down the highway for a few hours, you'll get to camp and you will only have about half the battery life of your second battery left. Not sure what alternator your four-wheel drive has? Well, to help you out, the guys at REDARC have a very clever system on their website that will show you what alternator your four-wheel drive has and what battery charger will suit it. When the vehicle manufacturers started making these smart alternators, companies like REDARC, who develop, test and manufacture all these products right here in Australia, had to create a charger that can work in newer vehicles. Enter our next in-vehicle charger, the BCDC 1225, a cracking entry-level charger that I've run in heaps of my four-wheel drives. It was actually the first setup I ran in the Dirty 30. Now, I could give you a pretty good idea of how one of these units work, but since I'm here at one of the leaders of 12 volt in this country and one of the biggest innovators in this space, it's only just that I talk with one of the experts in the field. This here is Steve. Now, Steve's got over 20 years experience in the industry, mate. You started off as an auto sparker, you've been at REDARC for a long time, you've installed a lot of these products, you know about these products, and if I can ask you a couple of questions, mate.
Absolutely.
And the biggest one, I suppose, is what is the main difference between a normal isolator and a DC-DC charger like the one you've got?
No worries, Sean. So a normal isolator will just allow your alternator charge through to your auxiliary battery and then isolate from each other. So you won't draw down your start battery when you're camped up. The BCDC charger will actually charge that auxiliary battery up to 100% in 3 stages. So it's looking and it can vary the current and voltage into that battery, so you know you're getting 100% stated charge into that.
Right, so different batteries need different types of charge. How does the BCDC do that?
Well, it has a selectable profile, so you can choose any profile you like to suit AGM, gel, calcium, or even lithium batteries.
Yeah, right. So basically, it'll do all the hard work. You can just set it to the batteries you've got in your 4-wheel drive. It'll look after those batteries and charge them the way they need to be charged, so you get the most out of your batteries.
That's right, so it's set and forget basically. Until you change batteries, you might want to try a different chemistry. You've gone with calcium, that took a high voltage. Now you've gone down to AGM, you'll need to decrease that voltage. So change the profile on this and that'll cater towards the charge profile of that battery. And then again, it'll future-proof you. If you want to put in a lithium battery later on, this will do that as well.
Now we've had a look at the 2 different types of battery chargers out there, we're going to look at the different sizes that are out there as well. Now, in front of me we've got 3 different, very typical types of battery chargers here. This one here is a BCDC 1225, this one's a 1240, and the big one on the end here is the 1250. Now, what that refers to, 1225, 25 amp hours of charge per hour. So that's how much battery charge you're going to get per hour maximum into your auxiliary battery. Knowing this helps you choose the right charger. Say you've calculated your fridge and accessories will drain 5 amps per hour off your 100 amp hour AGM battery. Knowing you can only use about 50% of an AGM's amp hours before it's depleted, you've got 10 hours of power before it goes flat. A 25 amp charger will take at least 2 hours to put those 50 amps back in. Now, when you're trying to work out how long it's going to take to recharge your batteries, the equation's not as simple as you're going to get 25 amp hours into your battery every single hour, because the batteries will taper off as they get closer to being full.
Yeah, that's right. As the battery increases in charge, the current will drop away. So the voltage will rise and the current drops away. So you can expect your last half or your last section of charging from absorption into float, those last 2 stages, can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours just to get 100% full.
And the reason it does it in that particular type of charge, instead of chucking maximum power at it, is because these are smart enough to understand what the battery needs, the type of battery, and it charges accordingly, so it actually preserves your battery.
That's right, yeah. It's a proper battery charger, so it is charging effectively 100%.
So Steve, is there any general rule of thumb if somebody's looking to purchase a battery charger and they're trying to figure out what size do I need for my 4-wheel drive, maybe some sort of guidelines people can use?
Yeah, certainly. So you've got to look at the size of your auxiliary bank. If you want to charge a single auxiliary battery from 75 all the way up to 200 amp hours, you can get batteries that big. You only want to go for a 1225. But if you're going to put 2 batteries together and go 200 plus amp hours for auxiliary power, you want to look at the 40 or the 50 amp charger.
Right, easy as that, hey? Cool, Steve, thanks for that. That's a really good guide. It takes the guesswork out of trying to choose the right battery charger for your particular needs. You know, it doesn't matter how many auxiliary batteries you have, the key to staying out in the bush for longer is solar. You see, to boil it down, a solar panel will harness the sun's energy to charge your battery so you don't have to start your vehicle. On the 79 I have a hard mounted 150 watt REDARC solar panel, and in the 80 I've got a solar blanket in the back for extended stays. The basic portable solar panels you can get can be attached straight to your battery. However, for a neater and easier way to get solar to your batteries, you can get a DC-DC battery charger that accepts solar input as well as alternator input. All of these REDARC chargers have a built-in regulator. The reason you need a regulator is that a solar panel provides too high a voltage to connect directly to a battery. Solar regulators take this input from the solar panels and convert this to a safe output voltage to charge a battery. In good sun, a 150 watt solar panel could be pumping in around 8 to 10 amps into your batteries while you relax at camp. And better yet, these chargers here have a REDARC innovation called Green Power Priority, a feature that will always use any available solar panel and work together with the alternator to provide charge required by the battery. For example, if your vehicle has a BCDC 25 amp charger and is running the solar panels and they're providing say 10 amps, the BCDC will only demand 15 amps from the vehicle. This reduces the electrical load on the vehicle. Having a well thought out solar system means you can leave camp when you want to, not when your batteries run flat and you have to. Charging your batteries is one thing, but monitoring how much charge you got left in your batteries is a whole nother game. It's like driving around without a fuel gauge in your four-wheel drive. You just simply wouldn't do it. Installing a battery monitor so you can keep track exactly what's happening with your auxiliary batteries and your start batteries is very important. Now, you can buy a couple of really cheap different types of battery monitors out there that'll show you how much charge you've got left, maybe how much is going out, but they simply won't give you the full picture. What I reckon is the best bit about the Manager 30 setup in my 80 is the display panel here. It's just like the dashboard for your four-wheel drive where you can measure engine temps, fuel levels, etc. I can see how much charge I'm putting into the battery, how much charge is left, and how fast I'm using the battery power. This means I'm not guessing or risking it staying in the bush for too long. I know exactly when I need to pack up or plug the solar in. Now the guys have just finished showing me one of their latest and greatest products, and I thought I had to bring a camera in here and show you around, because if you like your tech gadgets just like me, you're going to absolutely love this. Now this is called Red Vision. This display screen here is connected to a Manager 30. Now we know what the Manager 30 does, but it also comes with this distribution box and fuse panel. So all of your 12-volt items in the vehicle will go through this box right here. So I'm talking about your camp lights, your fridge, if you've got water tanks, even got water sensor inputs, and the whole thing can be controlled via this display unit here. So it not only shows you exactly what's happening with your 12-volt system, whether your batteries are fully charged, getting discharged, how many amps are coming in or out of the vehicle, what the solar's doing, but it also allows you to control all of your different 12-volt accessories. So if I want to turn lights on, I can just, look at that, it's so easy, and you can actually configure this to set your particular needs. So, you know, you might be running 2 fridges, you might be running multiple different awning lights, reverse lights, all the rest of it, camp lights, and you can actually set them up with different little symbols here, turn them on and off as you wish. Now, the really cool thing as well is it's also got an app. So you can be sitting down in your camp chair, and if you want to flick on your camp lights because it's starting to get dark, you've had a few beers, bang, turn them straight on. You can check your fridge as well, make sure it's nice and cold. There's so many different features of this, and the best thing is you can customize it to suit your particular touring setup. I really think this is REDARC innovation at its absolute best. It's so good to see an Aussie company leading the charge when it comes to everything 12 volt. Now I've been using these products for well over 10 years in all my four-wheel drives in all the different terrains around Australia. And I've always thought, what is the technology that goes behind the scenes to make those products what they are? Now, as soon as I got the invite to come down to the head office at REDARC to see for myself, well, I had to check it out. I'm down here with Anthony Kittle, the owner of REDARC, and they've been good enough to allow us to come in here behind the scenes into their amazing facility so we can show you exactly what happens down here at REDARC. Now mate, the big question, what differentiates you guys between everyone else?
Well, thanks for having us, Sean. Well, I think there's 3 things that really make us stand out. The first one's the amount of innovation and the investment we make in this area. We've got 70 engineers and technicians working full-time in R&D. That really sets us apart from our competition. The second one is our quality. All through the process, there's quality control built in, and the amount of testing that we do to guarantee our products can survive in any environment is unbelievable. And then the third one is, of course, our people. We've got amazingly talented people. We fund everyone's education, and we make sure that we want to have the best people in the world designing and manufacturing our products, servicing our products, and giving great service.
While I've been down here at REDARC, I've been absolutely blown away by the scope and size, exactly what happens down here at the head office. Now this right here is the assembly and production room. Most of the products from REDARC are assembled and put together right here in Australia in this room. It's a massive room with millions of dollars worth of technology, and right now I want to show you around the quick run through of this amazing facility, and I guarantee you're going to be blown away. So this room right here is the vibration lab. Now, there's 2 massive machines in here. There's well over $1 million worth of testing equipment. Now, the main purpose of this machine behind me is to actually destroy the REDARC products. So they do that so they can find the limitation of the product. They'll vibrate them, they'll heat them rapidly, they'll cool them rapidly, they'll go down to -80 degrees and right up to 200 degrees Celsius. And they want to see the extreme working conditions of all the REDARC products. So they're tested right here in Australia. There's a machine over there that will you can actually input via a computer real world simulation. So say you put some testing equipment on a vehicle and measured exactly what a vehicle would do going to Cape York and back, you can actually reprogram that into that machine and see how a REDARC product would handle that trip. That's extreme testing, and it gives you a lot of confidence as well when you purchase a REDARC product to know they've been through this so they can handle whatever application you want to put them through. So in this room, all the REDARC products are tested for electromagnetic compliance. So in simple terms, or in terms that I can understand, they're basically measuring for how much interference the product makes and how much interference they emit. So they basically comply with international or military standards. It's a pretty intense little room, no radiation or radio frequencies can come in or out of this room, and every single product is subject to this type of testing. Now, the reason why REDARC go to this level of testing is because they want to be sure that every single product that leaves this facility is engineered to a standard whereby it's not going to interfere with any other electrical products. I just learnt this and I reckon you should know it too. Did you know when you call up REDARC for product and technical information, you actually talk to experts like Steve? They've actually got a team of auto electricians that are here specifically to answer your questions. What other company has that kind of support? Well, there you go. Hopefully we've covered everything there is to know about dual battery systems, and more importantly, how to choose the right system for your particular needs and four-wheel drive. Now, if we haven't covered a particular question that you want answered, feel free to pop it in the comments below, because one of the team at REDARC will be online to answer your question. If you want to speak to them one-on-one on a phone, we can do that too. You can call right through and they've got a bunch of 12-volt experts ready to take your call. Now also, if you want to learn anything more about the products that we've used in this particular video, feel free to jump on the REDARC website at redarc.com.au.